Have you ever wondered why so many people feel hesitant when it comes to turning their compost pile? Honestly, this feeling is completely normal, especially for anyone who's just starting their composting journey at home. A friend once told me that just thinking about flipping and mixing the pile every week made them tired enough to want to quit from day one. Worries about bad smells, uneven decomposition, or messing up the process often hold people back. But is there a way to compost effectively without having to turn the pile all the time? That's a question many people ask, and it's exactly what I want us to explore together today. You might be surprised to learn that there are simple, low-effort methods that anyone can use successfully. First, let's look at the natural decomposition process and why compost can break down perfectly well without constant turning. Have you ever wondered why in the forest, fallen leaves turn into rich soil even though no one is flipping them? It's all thanks to microorganisms, the quiet workers that break down organic matter into humus. In a compost bin, as long as you maintain the right moisture level, not too wet, not too dry, and allow enough airflow, these microorganisms will naturally move around and create layers of decomposition on their own. One friend of mine simply layered kitchen scraps and dry leaves, left the bin untouched, and after a few months, opened it to find fluffy, earthy-smelling compost. Studies also show that if your materials are well balanced from the start, decomposition continues smoothly without frequent turning. Have you ever left a pile of dry leaves in your yard and watched it slowly transform over time? That's nature's power and patience in action. Second, choosing the right materials is the key to no-turn composting. Ever wondered which organic waste breaks down faster? In my experience, things like shredded dry leaves, vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, and crushed eggshells work incredibly well. They help balance carbon and nitrogen, maintain fluffiness, and keep moisture in check. Science recommends a carbon to nitrogen ratio of around 25:1, which keeps microbes active without causing odors. I once tried making compost using nothing but leaves and vegetable scraps, and after a few months, everything broke down beautifully, even without turning. Next is using a smart compost bin design, a game changer for beginners. With just a few simple tricks like drilling small holes around an old plastic bin for airflow and placing a few bricks or stones at the bottom for drainage, you can create the perfect environment for natural decomposition. You can use plastic bins, paint buckets, wooden boxes, anything that allows ventilation and proper drainage. Research shows that good airflow and moisture control lead to higher quality compost with fewer odors and fewer pests. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the idea of turning compost, these DIY tips can make things much easier. Using a natural top layer is also incredibly helpful. Experienced gardeners always cover the top of their beds or compost piles with straw, dry leaves, or shredded paper. This layer traps heat, stabilizes the environment, and helps microbes work more efficiently. A steady temperature speeds up decomposition and releases nutrients naturally. It also helps reduce pests, block weeds, and cut down on maintenance. When choosing a cover material, go for something that breaks down easily, like straw, dry leaves, or unprinted paper. How you layer your materials also makes a big difference. Every green layer, like fresh leaves or vegetable scraps, should be alternated with a brown layer like straw, dry leaves, or shredded paper. This creates airflow, balances moisture, and provides the nutrients needed for microbes to thrive without turning. A friend once told me, if you layer it right from the start, the pile stays loose and never smells. Working with nature is another powerful strategy. Placing your compost bin in the right spot outdoors lets gravity gently press the layers together and naturally pulls air through small gaps. Rainwater, when controlled, can also keep the pile slightly moist. An expert once shared that choosing a location with moderate sunlight, good airflow, and no risk of flooding greatly improves composting efficiency, even without turning. Controlling moisture and temperature isn't complicated either. You can check moisture with your hand. Grab a handful. If it sticks together lightly without dripping, it's perfect. If it's dry, add some water or moist scraps. If it's too wet, add shredded paper or sawdust. Temperature can be checked by touch as well. If the bin feels warm, your microbes are hard at work. Keep the bin shaded and covered to hold the warmth, and avoid letting it get too dry or waterlogged. Handling odors and insects is easier than you might think. Just cover fresh food scraps with a layer of dry leaves or shredded paper, and the smell disappears almost instantly. Keeping the green-brown ratio balanced also helps discourage flies and ants. You can sprinkle a bit of lime powder or used coffee grounds to absorb odors and deter pests. Monitoring the composting process is simple. Finished compost is usually dark brown, fluffy, and smells like fresh forest soil after rain. It feels soft and has no strong smell or undecomposed food bits. When you see those signs, your compost is ready. Everyone makes mistakes when starting out. Bins that are too sealed, poor airflow, forgetting to add a dry layer leading to flies, moisture imbalance, or using the wrong materials like oily food waste, bones, or tough shells. Just remember, keep airflow, cover with dry leaves, and choose the right inputs: vegetable scraps, leaves, coffee grounds, shredded paper. The long-term benefits of no-turn composting are truly worth appreciating. In our busy lives, this method reminds us to slow down and be patient. It's perfect for busy people, older adults, or anyone who loves gardening but doesn't want extra work. Simply prepare your materials and let nature do the rest. Watching your compost slowly transform is surprisingly healing. Someone in our community once shared that dealing with kitchen waste used to feel overwhelming. But after switching to no-turn composting, all he does is toss scraps into the bin and forget about it. A few months later, he has rich compost for his garden and a sense of joy every morning seeing his plants thrive. He said the real reward wasn't just the compost, but the peace he felt knowing he was making a positive impact on the environment. Many people also wonder whether no-turn composting truly works. The answer is yes. If your materials are balanced and moisture is controlled, it breaks down naturally, just a bit slower than when you turn it. As for adding microbial starters, if your materials are diverse and clean, natural microbes are more than enough. But you can add a starter if you want to speed things up. Typically, you can harvest compost in 2 to 3 months under good conditions. You can use no-turn composting with plastic bins, wooden boxes, or even outdoor piles. Each option has its strengths. Plastic bins need ventilation holes, wooden bins retain heat well, and outdoor piles just need protection from heavy rain. The most important things are balancing your greens and browns and maintaining proper moisture. Composting reduces household waste, improves soil quality, boosts plant health, and limits the need for chemical fertilizers. It also keeps your home smelling fresher and helps you grow safer food. It's a small action with a big impact. And finally, community. I invite you to share your own eco-friendly habits, maybe your first time making compost or your simple routine of bringing reusable bags to the market. When we share our experiences, inspiration spreads and connections grow. Who knows? Your story might inspire someone to start their own green journey. Together, one small habit at a time, we can build a more sustainable community where caring for the environment becomes second nature. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey of turning waste into resources and living greener every day. See you in the next video.